Alright, so gravel road performance with this tire is awesome. They hook up great, really predictable traction. They bite in and they get you boogieing, but you can also corner really hard, and they bite down into the little shallow berms that exist. And I've ridden them on loose hard pack stuff, or loose top hard pack as well, and they've been great. They definitely provide that aggressive edge that I'm looking for gravel riding. Really predictable in the corners as well. You can make them slide if you're a little bit aggressive on the power, but they tend to bite really quite well. As for braking, they're phenomenal. I can safely use the front brake without locking up, and actually slow down properly, which is quite nice. All in all, gravel road performance is just insane. It feels like a dirt bike tire. I am super pleased. Now, I know this trail probably looks familiar to anybody that actually watches my channel. And yeah, it is. I do ride this trail a fair bit, but I was out here not even 2 weeks ago with the Scrambler with the other tires on it. So I've got a pretty good idea of how the bike handled last time I was here with the original tires. So it's a good comparison. And on top of that, it rained a shit ton last night, so I'm gonna get to experience mud as well as wet dirt, dry dirt, and the nice thing about it here too is there's a ton of bedrock. So this is just a good testing ground for off-road tires. So that's why I'm here. But also it's probably the most direct comparison to the Pirellis. And I want to be fair. I don't want to go run a trail where traction's really high and then call the other tires garbage. I want to run a trail that I've run on both sets and give an honest review. That's a nice climb. All right. So this sort of downhill stuff is where the other tires really sucked, front braking wise. I mean, they were terrible for this sort of stuff. They just didn't bite quite enough. That was good though. That was really nice. All right, let's see how we go up this big steep dirt climb here. That's ridiculous considering that it's quite wet today compared to the last time I was here. That was really quite nice. Okay. Just like every time I'm here, this is about the spot where I stop and lift my visor so I can see. Get a little bit steamed up out here. Alright. Let's continue downward. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh. Yeah, oh yeah. Braking confidence is greatly improved. Especially on that loose stuff. The front wheel's doing a lot more stopping for me. And the rear is biting a little harder as well. So I can be a little bit more feathery on it. Gives me a lot of control, especially in that soft dirt where the other tire had its hardest time. I'm interested to see how this big open tread pattern hooks up on the bedrock descent that I have coming up here. There it is. Alright, let's see. Oh, a little bit of a slide. A little bit. Not bad. I think the Pirelli's hooked up better for braking down that bedrock descent there, but all in all, these are pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to run back again to be fair. I'm going to go up the bedrock, down the steep dirt with the brakes on, kind of get a feel for how this thing climbs on those little baby heads, and then we're going to continue on the trail. Oh, the uphill hookup is pretty good. What about here? Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's genuinely impressive. It's like, yeah, the last time I was here it was a lot dustier. But also it was a lot drier, so the bedrock itself should have been quite a bit grippier than it is today. Because the tires are kind of permanently wet after they roll on a little bit of dirt. And they're doing really, really well. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's great. Okay, well, let's continue, because so far these tires have proven to be just really capable. Alright, steep downhill. A little bit of a slide, but again, very controlled front braking compared to the Pirellis. Those big open lugs on the front are doing tons for the braking on the downhills. Alright, let's climb this hill. Much more controlled. Oh yeah, a lot of extra bite there. You get a lot more confidence going into little wheel pops to get up and down stuff. Even climbing a steep hill, I was able to get enough traction to pop the front wheel up. So that's fantastic. Oh man, surf some rock. Woo! Oh, there's some jumps coming up. Yes. See if we catch some air today. Not this one. Not this one. There it is, right there. Oh, a big puddle. Shit. Caught some good air there. I was interested to see how this tire would handle an impact like that. If it would get squirmy. And that's really quite good. It just plants and bites. So that's awesome. Hill climb time. Let's see how these tires hook up on a big steep hill climb. Lots of rocks. Lots of rocks. Lots of wet dirt. Whew. Oh yeah, just gotta float up off the bike. Hover that clutch in case you need to cut power, like I just did there. And then you switch back. Boom. Holy shit. Big gnarly hill climb. That went really well. So this is about as greasy as a downhill is going to get for me today. Rocks, muddy dirt, wet leaves on top. Oh god. This is greasy. But just like every other instance of slippery, loose mud, these tires are actually really hooking up quite well. They give you a fair bit of control. I say a fair bit, I mean they give you a ton of control in the mud. And like on that slippery downhill, I was able to pick lines and move around. Thanks. Thank you. So I know this hill is covered in baby heads, so we're going to talk about baby heads and how these tires like them. This isn't so bad here. It's when you get up here. Look at that. What a mess. And because I'm in Ontario, Canada, my baby heads all have pointy little tops on them. Little baby cone heads. Oh. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I even had enough traction to give a little wheel pop there at the top on those baby heads. Now, I should have said this before, but I'm running at a street PSI today because I don't have a little compressor yet. I'm looking at a big, deep water crossing here. Now I know it's rock bottom. I know the tires aren't going to be an issue here at all, but it's deep, so I'm going to go slow. I'm going to chug through, but I'm going to make sure that I stay nice and light on the bike. Let the bike move around underneath me. And then that way, when I get to the other side, well, there's just a lot less risk in getting to the other side. Momentum and then let the bike be light underneath me so that anything that I can't see doesn't kick me off. Yeah, nice. That was fun as hell. Okay, now that I've gone through that once, if I was going to go back, I would actually probably just blast at it and give it a bit of a water wheelie, because it wasn't as deep as I thought, and the bottom on that line, particularly where I was really quite smooth. I definitely could have goofed off a little bit, but better safe than sorry. Again, I'm out here by myself, so gotta make better choices, not fun choices. This is the creek crossing in the Lanark Community Forest. I've come through here a bunch of times in different vehicles, never on a bike though. So because it's a bike, because the rocks are soaked, I'm going to get out and we're going to have a look around, sort of pick a good line, get a feel for how slippery the rocks are. This is especially important to do if you're riding by yourself, because you're trying to be as careful as possible. So you got to get a really good feel for what you're doing. This isn't bad. That's probably the easy way out. Let's see. Coming over this way. Yeah, doesn't look all that challenging. It's just, it's probably going to be very slippery under there. So I want to be, again, better safe than sorry. I don't want to dump my bike in the water when I'm out here by myself. Let's see. Oh yeah, those are wet and slippery as hell. Nice clean line there though. I should be able to keep one foot down if I need to. And then straight up that rock on the other side and then up the hill. Okay, well. Might actually roll the bike up to here and then take a picture and then keep going, because that's the world we live in. Right? You gotta have a picture to prove that you did something cool. Okay. Yeah, I think baby heads, slippery roots is probably sketchier than flatter ground with underwater rocks. Plus, so far these tires have hooked up really well on all the things I didn't think they would. So, and I think the easy line here is going to be this one, straight across. All right, so now that I've picked my line, go back to the bike, and try to stay on it. Okay, so though I've picked a line to get through here, you got to be able to improvise. So stay light on the bike, because you're not going to be able to fight the bike back onto the line you want if it slides off one of those rocks underwater. So stay light, let the bike move, and just make your line sort of like the general goal. You're never going to win the battle against gravity and the weight of your bike. So just a thought, you know, it's picking a line is a great concept, lets you see what you're going to be driving through, but don't set it in stone. Otherwise you might end up setting the bike down. All right, let's give this a shot. All right. Slippery, good and slippery there. Okay, straight across here, and then off of this rock. Just like I thought, I'm gonna have to put a foot down. Okay. So again, my planned line at this point is fucked. Oh. All right. No big deal. We just restart the bike and we keep moving forward. Again, restart the bike and we keep moving forward. Nothing to stress about. The initial line was just a game plan. So as you shift, as you move, as you wiggle, just take a breath, regather yourself for a second. If you've, like I just stalled the bike twice there. I don't want to continue forward after that, because I'm already like, damn it, I ruined this video. But I'm not trying to look professional, I'm trying not to drop my bike in the water. So again, take a quick reassessment of where I'm going, and then off we go, we continue. And there we go, uphill. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh yeah. Wow, these tires even hook up on the slippery side hill. Wicked. Yeah, that was wicked. That was super fun. I'm actually glad I screwed that up so bad, because your instinct is to restart the bike, get the hell out of here, but you can't do that. A lot of the time, that's where the mistakes happen, is when you get flustered, you try to hurry too much. Just take a breath, keep moving forward. Realistically, I should have stopped and taken a sip of my water when the bike stalled the second time, but we're on the trail. This has been so fun. Oh yeah, I'll go up there, I'll take a picture up there. Yes. All right, get the bike rocking a little bit. There we go. Don't go backwards. Okay. Uphill we go. Alright, we're up. Let's just continue up. Oh. Yeah. Quick refresher of the bikes, the tires' off-road performance. Top notch. Aggressive gravel road riding, muddy trail riding, steep climbs, steep downhills, baby heads, wet rock, river crossing or creek crossing, you name it, off-road, these tires perform. Just amazing. Leaps and bounds ahead of the Pro Scorpions. Now, let's talk about the road performance. So we've seen off-road, we've seen gravel, we've seen everything but pavement. How do these tires do on the road? They're really quite good. Considering how well they work off-road, this is a surprisingly good on-road tire. That's partly due to the tread design, which I'm going to show at some point in the video. Out near the edge, especially on the rear, they've got a lot of tightly knit lugs, so it gives it great hold regardless of it's dry or wet. The only problem is, because the knobs are so tall, the tires tend to step out a little if you really get the bike leaned over. But it's predictable, so it's manageable. Again, in the wet, they hold almost the exact same as they do in the dry. Unless you're like right out at that limit, then they're a little sketchy in the wet. Now, I want you all to bear in mind the OEM sizes on the Scrambler in this particular tire combo are rated for 160 kilometers an hour, or 99 miles an hour. Now, that's obviously quite a bit slower than the bike's top speed. But realistically, if you're picking up this tire for your Scrambler, you're doing more trail riding and off-road stuff or gravel roads than you are asphalt, and you don't really need to go above 160. Now, for the sake of due diligence, I did take the bike up to its upper limit, and the tires aren't squirmy at all. They're actually quite stable at the bike's upper limit, and that far exceeds the speed limit of the tire. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that for any extended period of time, because you don't want to blow the knobs off, which is, I'm sure, why the speed rating is as low as it is. But I had to try. Now, I did actually have one really scary, squirmy incident on this bike. The second day I had the tires on, I was driving home from work, and I went to pass a car on a 4-lane highway, and I was around 145 kilometers an hour. And the bike squirmed. Not a scary amount, but it squirmed. And so obviously, I got spooked a little bit and slowed down and moved over, and I thought, man, these tires suck. This was a mistake. Then I get home and realize my front tire was 100% flat. 0 PSI in that tire. And what ended up happening was the shop that put my tire on they actually pinch flatted my front tube. So it was holding air when I picked the tires up, because I picked them up literally minutes after they were put on. But by the time I actually got to ride the bike home from work the next day, and so probably they were half deflated when I left for work, and I didn't notice because I didn't do a T-clocks. My bad. And then on the way home I didn't do a T-clocks again. My bad. But when I got home I realized that the tire was 100% flat. So, like, yeah, my bad for sure. But the silver lining here is this tire did 145, almost 150 kilometers an hour with 0 PSI on a 450-pound bike. And I didn't die. After a great day of trail riding and a bit of asphalt, let's have a look at these tires off the bike. Okay, so like I was saying before, the tread pattern along the edge here is great. You can see it's fairly closed up. This lug, that lug, this lug. And that's what gives it its great cornering performance on asphalt, especially when it's wet. It sipes a lot of water, which is great, but still has enough outer tread to really hold on. And these little support bars give it that predictable stepping I was talking about. Really, really good tread design for cornering. Now, the gravel performance comes from the fact that these narrow blocks, you know, every third block is really quite narrow, and you've got these nice deep ridges here. And they hold great laterally in the gravel, but they do offer enough slide if you get on the throttle, and it's predictable and it's fun. It's a great rear tire for gravel riding. It holds its own on asphalt. For a big luggy 50/50 tire, it's really quite quiet, but it corners wonderfully. Really great tire. Now the front. So the front here, you can see the center is fairly closed up, which is why it's not too squirmy at high speeds on the highway. And it's got a pretty standard tread out here along the side, but you've got a decent lug pattern that gives you a good cornering feel. You don't want to lean too hard, obviously, because these individual lugs, if you're right out here, you're going to lose traction, you're going to skip. That actually might get better once the tire wears in a little bit and I'm not riding on these little nibs when I'm out at the limit. Now, something important to notice about the front tire is you'll see these almost Tesla symbol-like blocks. And here, this one's even wider. Now, the reason in my mind that they did that is typically knobby tires on this edge of the tread, they wear down really quickly under braking load. And by doing this pattern, narrow to fat, this actually takes longer to wear under braking load than, say, something this wide would. So it's clever. It should give it better wear characteristics under heavy braking on asphalt. I'm excited to see what happens. But all in all, they're a really great performing tire. Anyways, if you liked this video, or if you've liked any of my other videos, please like, subscribe, you know, do all of those typical YouTube beggar things, because I gotta prove to my wife that my channel isn't a total waste of time. And without likes and subscriptions, I can't do that, right? So, anyways, till next time.